Hey guys, what is up? Thank you for coming back to my channel for another video. If you are new guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Darlene and I really hope that you would stick around for more videos to come. Anyways, you guys, I just want to give a little brief disclaimer on today's video. If you read the title of this video and if you're into conspiracy theories or missing persons cases or just murder mysteries in general, then you are very well familiar with this case. And I know that this is an extremely popular case. It's like this case went viral on the internet, and I just want to say that the main reason why I wanted to cover this case was because this was one of the very first conspiracy theories that really got me. And I saw something on Facebook last week that really got me thinking about this case again and really interested in it again. So I started to watch Bella Fiore's video and Kendall Rae's video, and I also found this really extensive, really informative documentary on YouTube that I will leave a link down below. But you guys, this case it opened up like a wormhole of just stuff of I just got sucked into it again. And I also don't mean any disrespect to Elisa, her family, or the people involved in this case. This is a really extremely tragic case. There's just a lot of missing stuff that leads you to believe that this could have just been more than just a murder. So I'm just going to go into the case, and this is about Elisa Lam. She was a 21-year-old college student. She did attend the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. Now, while doing my research for this case, I couldn't find the exact day where she started to travel and when she actually checked into the Cecil Hotel. There was a bunch of different days. Even Kendall Rae and Bella both had different days, so I was really confused. So I'm just going to say mid to late January. She actually went on this West Coast tour to, just travel the West Coast. I believe before that she was at San Diego. She did later on check into the Cecil Hotel, which is a very, very popular hotel in itself. If you're into this kind of stuff and you already know about the Cecil Hotel, just a little brief description about it. It is a very popular known hotel. There's a bunch of just eerie, creepy things that have happened there. A few really notorious serial killers have stayed there. The Black Dahlia was last seen there before she was found brutally murdered, I believe across the street from the hotel. People have described an eeriness, an unsettling environment in this hotel. Some woman even had described that she felt like she was being strangled by thin air. It's just creepy, creepy stuff. I believe it was last year, not last year, the year before, I actually stayed at a hotel here in where I live in San Antonio. That is one of the most haunted hotels. I didn't stay there, but I just went with a friend to go hang out. You guys, the moment I walked in there, you could just feel the air I don't want to go too much into detail because it's not about my experience at the hotel that, but it was just the creepiest thing. I don't know how somebody would want to stay in a hotel like that. It was just too much for me. But anyway, Lisa ended up checking into this hotel. When she first checked in, she was actually assigned a hostel. I think that's how you say it, a hostel type room, which is a shared room with other people. She was only in the room for 2 days before her roommates reported really, really odd and strange behavior coming from her. So that's when they actually moved her to a room of her very, very own. After she failed to check out properly, started to search for her, obviously, because she hadn't checked out. That's when they came across this security footage here, you guys. Very, very strange. It is extremely unsettling to watch. I can't watch the whole thing without getting chills. I'm getting chills just talking about it. I'm going to insert a little clip here, but I'll leave a link down below for the full footage. And the footage is just so weird, you guys. It is just so, she's just doing some strange things. It looks like she's hiding. It looks like she's pushing a lot of different numbers on the elevator. It looks like she's I can't even describe it. She's doing weird arm motions. Maybe she could have been hiding from somebody. I don't know. It's just extremely strange, and I don't understand the behavior in this footage. And sadly, this was the last known footage of Elisa. However, I believe when they were questioning people nearby the hotel, one of the women, I believe she was a shop owner, a bookstore owner, store from the hotel. She actually recalls seeing Elisa on that day, and she said that she was in really high spirits. She was extremely happy. She was even buying souvenirs for her family to take back home. Hearing that and then seeing this footage doesn't add up at all. So while all this was going on, people were trying to report foul taste in the water. They were starting to report that it smelled funny. One woman even had reported that when she turned on the faucet to the water, that it first came out black for a couple of seconds and then it was back to normal. I guess people didn't really think anything of it until it started to be more talked about at the hotel. That's when a maintenance worker went up to the water tank, which is located on the roof of the building, and he discovered a decaying body of Elisa Lam. You guys, again, no disrespect to Elisa and her family. She was in the water tank for a full 18 days. 18 days, you guys. 18 days. Can you believe that? Like, not only was this a water tank to the hotel, but it was also shared with the cafe or restaurant next door. What? 18 days, you guys. 18 days. I can't even stress how, like, just 18 days. Oh my gosh. So that's pretty much all the information I have for Elisa. If you're like, that's all, don't worry. I'm going to get into the theories. And the theories are also going to explain a little bit more about her. Online, there was a bunch of different theories. I think there's maybe like about 15 to 20 different theories. But I picked the ones that stick out to me the most. The ones that I kind of like agree with, or they're just kind of creepy in a way. I'll also leave a link down below of all the theories that there are. So one of the main ones is that she was suicidal, she was depressed, and she was on drugs. Now, Elisa actually was on drugs. She was on 4 different prescription medications to help with her depression and her being bipolar. I believe that one of the medications caused hallucinations, which could have explained the behavior from the elevator footage. The strangest thing about this, you guys, is that they did an autopsy of her body, and they also obviously ran a drug test. Drug test came back completely clear. They didn't find any trace of any drugs in her system, not even her prescription drugs. So people thinking maybe she had like a complete manic episode. If she wasn't on her medication, maybe it caused her to like relapse, or maybe it caused her to just have like this insane manic episode. If I were traveling somewhere and if I were on like heavy medication, I wouldn't want to be on my medication. Like, I would probably like want to experience like life in this new place, like fresh and like a new woman, if you must, like, right? I mean, I've never been on a medication like that, so I can't relate. I don't know how it feels. The next theory is that she was murdered by someone working in the hotel. Now, this one seems more likely because in order for you to get to the top where the water tank was, you have to go through like all these different things, and in order for you to get out to the roof, you have to turn off the alarm code. Now, the creepy thing is that from when she went missing to when she was found, the alarm didn't go off once. So she clearly needed like a code, or maybe somebody had the code to turn off the alarm, because if not, it would have sounded to alert that somebody was up there. Now, the police actually did search where the water tank was, but they didn't actually search inside it, which is like, why would you not look inside the water tank? That doesn't make any sense to me. But in order for you to get to the water tank, it's not like an easy, like, oh, let me like hop, like, let me just, you know, open the door and like, you know, the water tank's here, I'll go up the ladder. No, 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 no. You had to go through like one ladder and like another ladder. Like, you just had to go, like, it was like really tricky how to get up there. And the other like weird thing is that the tank or the lid to the water tank was about 20 pounds. Maybe it was even heavier than that. But how was she supposed to open this tank, go inside, and then close it from the inside? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And the other thing was that when she was found completely naked, and her clothes were inside the tank with her, like just thrown in the tank. So did somebody dump her body in there, threw her clothes in there, and covered it? What rules this out is that there was no signs of struggle on her body. Like, absolutely no sign of struggle on her body. The very next theory is that she was playing this Korean elevator game. Now, I don't like stuff like this. I'm going to like breeze through this theory, but I found it very interesting. Apparently, with this Korean elevator game, you're supposed to travel to like another dimension. You're only supposed to do this in a building or like a hotel that has 10 stories. And I'll also have a link down below. Kendall Ray has a really, really great description of the elevator game. So if you want to watch her video, I would suggest watch it if you have not seen it. But apparently you're supposed to travel to like another dimension, and when you come back, you're supposed to be like really disoriented. Maybe she did play the elevator game, and that's what caused her to be really disoriented when she came, you know, to our dimension. Maybe she successfully went to the other dimension and she came back. That caused her to be disoriented and caused her to go into the water tank. The very next theory is that her death was like a recreation or like a reenactment of the movie Dark Water. I have never seen this movie, but I found this really eerie and really creepy. So the main character was also found wearing the exact same clothing as Elisa. It also took place in a really haunted hotel, and there was also a body found in a water tank just like Elisa's death. And the creepiest thing about this, I'm going to read it from my notebook so I don't mess it up. The main character's name was Dahlia, and her daughter was named Cecilia. Black Dahlia, Cecilia, Cecil Hotel. The Black Dahlia was last seen at the Cecil Hotel. I don't know, that's just super creepy. The very last theory is that this was a cover-up from the government. And now, when Elisa went missing, there was actually a tuberculosis outbreak. I believe it was on Skid Row, which I believe is near the hotel or not far from the hotel at all. And you guys, the creepiest thing about this was that the test to determine if you had tuberculosis was called Lam Elisa. Literally her name backwards. What? So people think that Elisa Lam was a fake persona, a made-up character by the government to hide the fact that there was this outbreak. And I can see this really happening. Again, no disrespect to Elisa, her family, but what if this was all made up because the government wanted to conceal this outbreak? I mean, can you imagine all of the things that the government tries to hide from us because they don't want us to get scared, or obviously we don't know how to handle things here. And what if this was just a just big cover-up? And people say that when you type in Elisa Lam, it was just a diversion so that when you Googled Lam Elisa or, the outbreak, nothing but her articles and her information would come up. I don't know, you guys. That one just really got me. So that's all the theories that I have for you guys. Please let me know if you agree with any of these. I am so unsure that I don't even know which theory I believe with. I feel like the most plausible one would be that she was murdered. And I also kind of agree with the government covering her death up. I don't know. I know that's just really creepy, but I feel like the most rational one would be that she unfortunately was murdered. Her death was actually ruled accident, that she went in there and she drowned on her own. But I do not believe that it was an accident for any reason. I feel like maybe this was a cover-up or a murder. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys agree with any of these, if you think I'm completely crazy for thinking that. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video, you guys. Please feel free to give me any suggestions of any other videos you want me to cover. Also, don't forget to subscribe down below and like this video if you liked it. Have a good night, stay safe, and be blessed wherever you are, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!